Good morning, everybody. I've been doing a lot of videos here about this engine, but from the comments and the messages I'm getting on my channel, guys are wanting to kind of see this close up, so that's kind of the reason for me doing it. So if you don't like it, you can just skip past these videos. But this is just my final video talking about the CVF Racing pulleys and brackets. I wanted to kind of show them in the 90% completed engine bay here. And just to do a little bit of a follow-up here on what we got going on. In my last video, I showed you the power steering bracket, and I showed you the alternator bracket. Here, let me pull this belt off because we don't quite have our AC compressor ready to install yet. But here, you'll see down here, there's his amazing crank pulley attached to the Harmonic balancer with the .950 spacer on the back of it. You can see it in there. So it's the 3-groove pulley and then the spacer on the back of it attached to the balancer. And this is just to kind of give you an idea of how this pulley system works. You have your very inner belt, or your inner groove here, which is this one where I'm pointing to. This runs your alternator, so it goes around the top of the water pump, around the alternator, down, and it's the first. You can see it there, down there. It's the first groove on the crank pulley. That takes, and this is going to be specific to your engine, but I'll start giving you belt numbers. This is I'm running a Dayco Top Cog 52. Is that a 52? Hang on one second here. Let me just try to help y'all. It's a part number 15390. 15390. So so that's the Dayco. Then the next pulley is the center groove, which is here on the water pump. That goes over to the power steering pump, down, and that's on the second groove, of course, to the crank pulley. So you'll see that everything is relative. The crank and the water pump are relative to the groove that they set the belt on, obviously, for alignment. That wraps around the power steering pump here, and you can see it's finished off really nicely, and everything matches there. And there's a shot of the power steering pump installed, and you'll notice how everything is perfectly straight. You want to make sure you pay attention to your bushings and every single thing that they say in the instructions as far as what length bolts to use. And those, of course, are bolted through the water pump and the timing cover there. And then your last groove, which is going to be your AC bracket, for your AC compressor, that's going to go around the AC, which resides right here on this top bracket. And it's just as simple as putting the bracket on there and then looping your pulley around. And the AC gets this belt, which is also a Dayco Top Cog, and we are part number 15480 on that. So that'll give you a little bit of an idea of what belts you're going to run with. Power steering, I can't really read it, but we can try to zoom in on it here. Lighting's too bad. I'll paste the part numbers down in the description. I actually have the packages still, just so you guys know what belts to run. That was a little bit of a challenge too, and that's with any custom engine build where you're not really using anything factory. Is that there's a lot of guesswork. I took a string and I wrapped it around my pulleys and measured it, and then I bought 3 different belts for each one, and then my guys over at Advance are really awesome, so they let me return the ones I didn't need. I used to work there. I used to be a manager at Advance back in the day, so there was no problem there. But if you guys can take my part numbers if you decide to run with this setup, and it'll probably work for you if you're running a 302. So that's just kind of, you can really see the detail and how those pulleys finish it off inside the engine bay. It matches the overall engine scheme, if that makes any sense. And then we got the it's instead of the mechanical fan on a clutch, we're running the Durale electric fans, which move about, I think it's 4,000 CFMs of air when they're both running, and they're very loud. From my previous videos, you'll definitely admit to that. And then to finish off the top of the radiator, I've had a couple of people ask me, this is actually a custom job I did. My guy at Gearhead Performance hooked me up with this shroud, or the shield, that had been sitting in the shop for a few years, and all I did was simply mount it backwards on here to kind of give that beveled look, kind of like sloping. And then it was pretty straightforward. I drilled a small hole there, and I drilled a small hole on the other side there, and I simply attached it to the bracket that attaches the fan to the radiator. So this basically comes out, this entire radiator, shroud, everything comes out as one unit. All you have to do is unplug the fans, which I still have to reconnect again. But that's pretty cool. It's kind of a very handy setup, and that's of course an aluminum radiator here that I polished that with a mechanical polisher. I got that polished up, and it's got the transmission lines that run into the radiator here. So all in all, this is kind of the look I was going for. So now, what's left, you ask? I have to run my AC hoses. I have to measure those and cut those and have them crimped with a bubble style crimper. Mount my compressor, throw the belt on it. Still have to put the oil pan on. That's not done yet. You'll remember I had to yank that oil pan off to get the timing cover on and off. So my work under the car will commence here probably Thursday. I'll try to get under there and get that done. And then we should be able to do another startup and make sure that she doesn't leak, which I'm pretty confident it won't. I put it together pretty well. So that's just wanted to do a nice little video 2 or chapter 2 on these CVF pulleys and show kind of the completed setup. I know I glossed over it last video set, but I really wanted to show off the craftsmanship there. Really, if you're really looking to get a nice set of pulleys for your Mustang or your classic car, you really want to make it look good, that's where you want to go. Go to CVF Racing, get their set, because there's nothing like, having all this stuff done to the engine, and you look at the pulleys and it's all stamped steel and, big heavy V pulleys, ugly brackets, and just shitty looking setup. You want to make sure it looks nice like this. So give them a call, they'll help you out. I wanted to just kind of illustrate this. I haven't seen any videos on YouTube showing pulleys and the brackets from them, so this is a good little first look, second look for you to see if that the decision is going to be made to run with them or not for you. But I'm pretty discriminating, and I'm a stickler about quality, and these things are definitely a 10 out of 10. So thanks guys for watching. Comments, questions, thumbs up, all that good stuff, pipe it down below. I'll post the part numbers of these belts on here too, so you can get an idea of what part numbers you might need. And then I'll take it from there. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.